I just spent a week running the exact same brief through 5 different AI design tools: Claude Design, Pencil, Huashu, OpenDesign, and Paper Design. I expected variety. I got the same fonts, the same colors, the same vibe. 4 of those 5 tools produced basically the same design. Only one was actually different. Today, I'll show you which one, why it's different, and the workflow split inside these tools that actually decides which one is worth using. Here's how I ran the test. Same brand to every tool. I called it Quiet Draft, a fictional AI co-writer for novelists. Anti-hype literary brand voice. I picked a novelist tool on purpose because anything else would let the AI default to dashboard user interfaces, and I wanted to see what these tools actually do when they're forced into restraint. 3 deliverables per tool: a hero, a 5-slide investor deck, and a 5-page marketing site. Same exact prompt text into every single tool. No tweaking per tool, no nudging one direction or another. The variance is the data. Here's what I actually got back. For every tool I tested, I started fresh. A brand new Claude Design project for the hero, another brand new Claude Design project for the deck, and another brand new Claude Design project for the website. 3 completely separate sessions, and all 3 came back looking like the exact same design. Same default font, same cream paper background, same single accent color. Different login screens get me the same answer. And then I ran the same approach through OpenDesign. 3 fresh starts. OpenDesign returned the same design Claude Design returned. Then Huashu. 3 fresh starts. Oh, then Paper Design. 3 fresh starts again. 4 of the 5 tools kept landing in the same place no matter how many brand new projects I started. Pencil was the only one that produced something visibly different. 1 tool out of 5 with an actual point of view. Now, here's the part that actually decides the question. The real difference between these tools is not what they produce. It's when they spend your tokens. Pencil draws the design first. You look at the design, and then if you want code, you ask for code. The token cost is the design phase alone, and the design phase is cheap because Pencil's drawing inside of its own design surface, not running an HTML build in the background. You see the design before you commit to anything heavier. Claude Design and OpenDesign, well, they run in the opposite order. They generate HTML in the background as the first step. By the time the output renders for you to look at, you've already burned tokens on a multi-file build you did not yet know if you wanted. If you do not like the direction, you discard work that already cost real money. On my max plan, Claude Design burned 3% of the weekly limit on just 2 prompts, and that's on the largest Claude Max plan. Anything smaller, and that percentage is going to be brutal. I told Claude Design to export its hero image HTML as an image, and it couldn't do it. It tried to render a screenshot 9 times. I finally gave up as it was burning through tokens at an alarming rate. I had to spend more tokens to get a downloadable HTML file and then convert that to an image myself. I tested 5 different design tools, expecting to wow you with meaningfully different designs, but they were all so similar and bland that I'm annoyed. The only meaningful difference is the workflow for each different tool. Here's what I'd actually use. Pencil is what I already use, and this round of testing did not change that. The output is the only one in the field with a different point of view. The design first workflow keeps the cost of rejecting a direction near zero. It drops into Claude Code as a real MCP with no separate billing. I'm not blindly defending it. Pencil pushed an update in the middle of this test that broke a couple of my early renders. And boy, did that make me crazy and waste quite a few tokens. The tool isn't perfect, but the architecture is right. OpenDesign earns exactly 1 slot in your workflow. The situation where you want to use an AI model other than Claude that doesn't support MCPs. OpenDesign supports multiple model backends, which is the one feature it ships with that the other tools in this field do not. If you're running a non-Claude agent that doesn't work with Pencil, OpenDesign is the only entry built for that. Otherwise, OpenDesign is more friction than Claude Design with the same output direction at the end of it. It asks you a battery of multiple choice questions before it'll generate anything. Then lands in the same place Claude Design lands anyways. It can't just take a design brief and run with it. It was the most annoying tool of this entire bunch. Huashu and paper design are real MCPs and they finish the job, but they don't produce output meaningfully different from Claude Design either. If you're already happy with one of those, fine, but they don't earn a switch in my book. Claude Design fits exactly one slot for me, a one-page PDF. Anything more than a one-pager and you're paying for trash. I'm never using for anything except a quick rough draft. My final recommendation is short. If you're on Claude Code, use Pencil. If you want a non-MCP option, use OpenDesign and accept the friction. The output across this whole category is a race to the bottom. Every tool is converging on the same recipe. Pick the one whose workflow matches how you actually want to work, because that's the only difference that actually matters. They all end up looking the same anyways. But maybe I messed up my tests. Have you gotten a better result than I did with one of these image tools? Should I have tested the new Google Design MD? Let me know in the comments below. This is a small channel, and that means I read and respond to every single comment personally. If you want to see more videos just like this one, videos that cut through the noise and get to the practical application of AI, hit that like button. And if you want to see more of my content in your feed, hit the subscribe button. The bell will notify you every time I release a new video. I hope you found this video useful, interesting, or at least entertaining. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for making it all the way to the end. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching one of my videos. Hit the like button, and then I've got a couple of sweet videos that I think you're gonna like. I've got one here and another one over here. You're gonna love them.